Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back for another after show for Grand Hustle. We're talking all things Chris's meltdown, this Mural challenge, eliminations. We, of course, have T.I.P trivia, your fashion hot or not, and we have a special guest joining us today. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, you don't know me. You don't know me. Hey. Yes. This song makes me want to fight.
I know, it is.
Like, it seems like real thug, real thug.
It's like a party song.
Yep. Yes. Welcome back, Hustlers, for another after show for Grand Hustle. I'm your host, Kayla Rene'e. We're talking all things Chris's meltdown, the Mural challenge, David Banner, eliminations. We, of course, have your T.I. trivia. And we have a special guest joining us today. But first, I'm not by myself. What's up, ladies?
Hello, Kayla. Hello,
what's up,
everyone. I'm Petra Elise. You can find me on everything on social media, YouTube at Petra Elise TV.
Hey, everybody. I am Shamarri Hartzog.
Hey, Shamarri. I know we're missing shows today.
Yes, we are. It's going to be a little
We
quiet.
miss you, girl, but we'll see you soon next week. But first of all, before we dive into everything, you guys, what were your overall reactions for this show?
It was actually very powerful. Like, I love the message. I love, like, what they were standing for. Both teams had such, like, powerful and, like, relatable and emotional messages. I think that it was just a very, like, deep, like, episode. Like, it was very touching, and I think it made, like, a big difference and impact. I like that a lot.
I feel the same. I think this is one of my favorite episodes because I do feel like it was an episode where it made a difference and we weren't like sitting on edge waiting for drama to happen. It was just like, okay, like this is a challenge where it's meaningful. They're going to learn something, but they're still hustling. So I liked it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, much like Shamarri, I definitely agree that it was super powerful. I'm like, everything behind the messages for it was like really intense, and I was like here for it. I was like, yes.
And it was nice to kind of see like their personal like experiences with certain things. How each of them had actually been either handcuffed, sitting behind a cop car, even being in jail before at some point. Like they could actually relate to it, and that makes things like a lot more powerful too.
And I like the fact that they were all open about it. They weren't like, okay, they're on television where it's like, you know, a big deal. Like, we can talk about this and be open about it and still make an impact to people. So I liked it. I loved it.
Yes, it was such a great episode, you guys. But before we dive into everything, I want to introduce our special guest. We have Crystal. Hi. Hi, Crystal. You look so gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, natural. Come through.
Yes. How are
so
you this
silly.
evening? I swear, are you in New York? I know it's late.
I'm actually in Virginia right now.
Oh.
Even still, East Coast is still late.
Right, yeah, you're on
It's
the
like
East
11
Coast.
over there, isn't it?
Girl, I'm a hustler. I'm up all night.
Yes, come through, hustler.
Yes.
Well, Crystal, what were your overall thoughts on this episode? I know, like, watching back, it's been like a few months since you guys have aired, but like watching it all back and stuff, how'd you feel about this episode?
I loved it. I mean, you know, it's reality TV, so of course the first few episodes had a lot of drama and a lot of issues. But I feel like this episode, you got to see everybody's hustle. Like, you got to see people out here grinding, putting their thoughts together, figuring it out. Like, this was the episode. Not just because
Especially yours, because you definitely came through, sis.
Yeah.
You did.
And you was crying and all, girl. I'm like, okay, this is the moment for her.
Yep, this was the perfect time for you to be pointing. Like, this was literally your task. Like, so it was really good.
It's so funny because I was definitely waiting for Crystal and Grace, like, to see, like, when they were going to step up. And I literally feel like this was y'all episode. Like, between the both of y'all, you guys did amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm still friends with Gracie. That is my baby.
Yes. She's actually out here in LA with us. I think we're going to have her on next week.
Good.
So why do you feel like I saw the tears closer to the end for the competition? Where did that come from? Was it an overcoming moment, or like what was going through your head that made you just like break down like that?
Well, first we heard Team Brand's numbers, and I was nervous because I was so engulfed in the challenge that I wasn't really able to keep track of what our numbers were. So when I heard their numbers, I was like, oh my gosh. I already knew we had a lot of signatures because we were getting traffic. We were pulling in all the Greeks we saw because I'm Greek, Gracie's Greek, Yannick is Greek. So we pulling all the Greeks like, hey, we see you over there with your letters. Come over here, you know? So I know we had the signatures, but I wasn't sure about our impressions on social media. When I heard their number coupled with my thought process of I'm dedicating this episode to my little brother, all of that together, I was an emotional wreck. I wasn't sure if I lost, but then I was like, you know, even if I lost the challenge, it's a win because I'm bringing awareness to a cause that's really dear to me. So it was a combination of things. And I don't like to cry in public. So it was like, ah! I was like, darn it, like, come on, T.I., why you got me over here?
Such a vulnerable moment, but you guys, like, I'm so proud of your success. That was amazing. You guys did really well.
Yeah, agreed.
How difficult was it to pull people over there? Because luckily, like, you guys did find people that were Greek, but it seemed like it was kind of hard. And how long were you guys out there?
Oh, we were out there for hours. I feel like, you know, it sucks. It's 48 hours of taping stuffed into 45 minutes of an episode. So you miss out on so much. Like, we created flyers. We went and handed out flyers. You know, we were DMing people, telling people to post. Like, we were really doing a lot, but we were triple tasking. Like, we had tablets and phones, but not our phones. We were using production stuff. So we're using all this stuff, and just time felt like it wasn't moving. And there was a point where one of the producers pulled me aside and was like, Crystal, you need to eat something. You've been out here, we got here early in the morning. It's beaming hot. You're over here trying to get people, you're trying to tweet, you're trying to call in radio stations, you're trying to tweet different mayors and all this stuff. Eat something. They made me eat a power bar.
Wow.
I was like, no, we gotta win. He was like, you need to not die. Like,
That's when the hustle is real. Like, you know, you're not even thinking about eating or anything. Your mind is on the mission. So I totally get it.
Yeah, but we'll save our Q&A with you for a little later, Crystal. But let's dive into the episode. So let's break down this Chris's meltdown, sis. Like, how was it? So you guys, for our viewers, if you guys were watching the show, Chris actually had, I don't know, was it a heart attack, sis?
And he had a panic attack.
Okay, so Chris, actually, one of the contestants, he had a panic attack and actually had to be rushed to the emergency room. Ambulance showed up to the house to take him out, and ultimately he was eliminated on the spot. But Crystal, you were actually there firsthand, like with him in the room, telling him to speak and, you know, breathe and all that type of stuff. How was that, just witnessing somebody going through that?
It was so difficult. When I tell you, first I was like, okay, where's Chris? And I felt like I heard something earlier, but I wasn't sure. But someone else, one of the other cast members, were like, they heard a loud thump on the floor. And I didn't hear it. I was knocked out. So I went over to his room and I was looking, and I'm like, okay, I look in the bathroom, and then I look in the closet. I'm like, what the heck? And he was just standing there with his hands like this over his eyes, and it was stuck. Like, I couldn't move it at all. So it was very nerve-wracking to find somebody just in the closet and not moving. I don't know. I mean, I was legit nervous. I was like rocking back and forth with myself, trying to calm myself down. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? Is this person gonna die?
I was nervous in myself.
You were really calm though, the way you handled it. Like, you really I feel like you handled it like really well. I don't think I would have been able to done that.
I was just about to ask, like, have you had any past experiences or anything like that? Like, have you taken classes or CPR or anything? Because I'm like, what?
No. But my sister and my mom are both in the medical field.
I agree. So is my mom and my cousin. Shout out to y'all. I love our nurses. You guys do amazing. But yes, okay, you guys, let's dive into this mural challenge. So T.I. came in initially. It's still Grand. It's Team Grand and Team Hustle. Their new challenge for this week was a mural challenge. They actually had to go out, create a nice mural, create a hashtag, and actually get people to sign for a petition. So Team Grand, their point was George, and Team Hustle's point was Crystal. That actually went so awry. And then our actually guest for this week was David Banner, dropping super insightful words of wisdom for everybody. So yeah, I loved how David Banner was on there. How'd you guys feel about David Banner being there?
I loved it. You know, I never seen that side. Like, I haven't at least seen that side of David Banner. You know, the only thing I was thinking of is that one song that he had.
Stunting is a habit. Look. Why was I thinking stunting is a habit? Hey.
What was the other song? The workout one?
No,
what
it was
that one? And he was like,
David.
whispering.
Oh, dang.
He was like, go on, girl, gonna get your body wet. Work that. Let me see it.
David Banner?
Yes, that's from the workout video when the girls was working out.
He
had to. No, that wasn't Kanye's workout plan. No, it was two different songs.
I'm like, I think it's Kanye.
No, but I just like seeing him in that role, and just him like giving, like you were saying, spitting those words of wisdom and just being like so deep with it and just connecting with them like that. Like, that was really nice.
Yeah.
He was saying some serious stuff. So.
I'm not a huge fan of David Banner, but every time I've watched an interview or anything of him, he's definitely really, really deep. And being that I went to Southern University, he used to always like come to the HBCUs and like talk and stuff like that. So I'm used to seeing him like in that light.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's actually different for me. I'm like me and Shamarri, I'm like, we like seeing David Banner as like a rapper, but it's like now he's like a philanthropist. He's like an activist. Like he's traveling all over the world, literally spitting words of wisdom.
I
like,
love it. I mean, you still have to stay woke in this industry.
No, definitely.
Period. So
I literally love his phrase that he gave one of the teams, people perish with the lack of a vision. So I'm like, I definitely love that. I was here for it. Yeah, so let's talk about Team Grand, you guys. So their point was pretty much to demonstrate the inequality of education, and their hashtag was demonstrate to educate. How'd you guys feel about their team?
I like
so much confusion.
You know, actually with George on this team, I do feel like he was a little bit better. He was a lot calmer.
He was a little bit better.
But I think, too, the dynamic of individuals on that team was just a little bit, I think him and Jonathan specifically just kind of bump heads. And there's not a lot of men on that team. There's only one guy. So it's kind of like, it was just a little easier, I feel. But I think he also kind of took a step back and was trying to be more like, team-oriented versus just what I say goes, which I did like seeing George in that way. And I think they did do a really good, they worked together very well.
It seemed like, I was like, okay, I was rooting for him. I was like, he's going to take a step back and let people lead. But then I was like, he started dishing out shots at Javi. And I was like, okay, look, here we go, good old George.
Right, here
and I was like, T.I. It was like, the honeymoon is over. Because George went right back to his antics.
Just to let you guys know, speaking of, George is joining us right now.
Hi. You know we love talking about you, George. Yes, because I'm like, him and Javi bumped heads the entire time. It was like over the hashtag and over just like the traffic, bringing in people and like getting the signatures. What were you going to say, P?
I think that she was, I honestly feel like the only reason why this challenge went smooth is because she has a sense of maturity about her. Yeah. And it could have easily went left. They could have been arguing, but she was like, okay, I'm just letting you know this is what I think, but if you want to do what you want to do, cool, I'm going to let you do what you want to do. Yeah. But it could have went quickly to the left if she would have just was like, no, we got to do this like this. She was like really mature in that space, and I feel like I really appreciate that because it allowed everyone else to see like, okay, you do have a voice and you're also letting the team, decide as well. So I really liked that about her, and I love her.
I love Javi's professionalism. Yeah,
yes, I love
she's
her.
super professional. Yeah, I was here
and
for
her
it.
ideas are always great. Like I just don't understand. Like Javi has,
listen to her.
Yeah, I don't, and she's always right. At the end,
always
it's like,
right.
You want to listen to Javi. Like I think that her ideas are great, and she doesn't get like enough credit sometimes. And that's why when he said that she was the weakest link, I was like, what are you talking about, George?
So speaking of some people that didn't really get enough shine, I actually want to shine light on Tehran. Is that how you pronounce his name? I think it was Tehran or Tehran.
Oh yeah.
He actually he's been stepping up to the plate. He's like really been like under the radar lately, and he's not getting enough shine that I feel like he deserves. And he was out there with the little kids, y'all,
and he had
taking
on the suit,
pictures.
honey.
Yeah, and he had on a suit. He was ready, and I was like,
Yes.
dang, y'all didn't give him the MVP. I was so disappointed. But yeah, I was like, after changing locations, they still failed, still couldn't get them signatures.
And just to let you guys know, George said they needed help. He said, I could not trust the other team. He said, Jan and Crystal are best friends. They turned everybody against me.
Crystal, you hear this?
So this is George here saying what it is right now. So,
Crystal, what you gotta say?
You
Look, how you gonna defend yourself?
No. Anybody got time for him. He just doesn't understand how to work with different leadership types and different personalities. Everybody that's in the cast is a leader. So you have to understand who they are and how they are motivated. He doesn't take the time out to figure that out. He needs people that are a little bit more low-key, that can yell at him but still be cool with him. Yeah. But you need to learn how to work with people, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here.
No, I agree with that.
I'm happy he left the team. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
I care for George, but I'm like, focus on the task at hand more than like the little extra stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That wastes time, that bickering back and
like
forth.
you know what I mean?
Like,
where are we gonna put the hashtag? I feel like it should be on the top in the front. Like, you know what? Like y'all need to be getting these people to sign the petition about this education that we need and its inequality and all this stuff, and getting the education for the kids. Yeah. Look, we let the kids. So I'm like, nah, George, come on, where's your head at?
Right. Yeah, he has a lot to say. I know.
He's still going.
We're gonna have to get into our live chat later. Let's dive into Team Hustle real quick. So Crystal was the lead on that, and theirs was I actually felt so personal to this one because much like Crystal, I actually had a personal story too. But theirs was about the mass incarceration system and how to upgrade the system, which was actually their hashtag, upgrade the system. And I felt like it was so personal. I'm like, I loved you guys' moment in the van where you kind of get like shared personal stories about family members or personal situations where you guys were in jail. I definitely love that, and I'm like, I definitely love to see like more of Grace too. It was like really crazy. But I'm like, the awkward thing was like Vanessa not literally having no type of connection or like relating to any of the situations. I felt awkward for her. It was like, wasn't that such a cringe-worthy situation?
She didn't even say anything though. It would have been different if like when everyone was talking about it, she would have been like, yeah, guys. Like she was just like sitting there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I think kind of to piggyback off what you said, Kayla, she was awkward. She really didn't know how to get into it because I don't think she could relate, honestly.
I mean, even if you can't relate, it's just like, I mean, you don't have to relate to everything. You can like you said, you can ask questions. You can be involved in the conversation. You can
maybe
be interested.
Witness something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm like,
I'm sorry. I was ready for her to go today.
I was hoping she was going to be eliminated because she was the weakest link, and I feel like she's been the weakest link since the show started.
I honestly think she didn't get eliminated only because they won.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
right. You know what I mean? Like,
But T.I. was on some everybody did good this challenge, so he really wasn't in the mindset of like eliminating anyone.
I wonder if he probably only thought that way because Chris left earlier that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he need to start eliminating doubles at this point.
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Let's get it going.
Right. She probably gonna be eliminated next month though. I mean next episode, next week. So
it's all right. Hopefully she still keeps tuning in. But speaking about tuning in, Shamarri, let's talk to our viewers.
Well, since we're talking about tuning in, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. So with that being said, we have dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about annoying notifications, don't be, because they are optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, which is reality, okay? And check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. So for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for that, Shamarri. And if you're listening to us on iTunes in your car, go ahead and give us 5 stars on that rating also. But let's get into this. So, Crystal, I know you were talking about your little brother kind of had a situation where he was arrested and actually went to jail, for something that he did not commit. Is he still in jail now currently?
Yes, he is. He's been there since age 17. He's now 28.
Wow. Man.
And there's a few different groups that have reached out prior to the show coming out, because already I'm very vocal and I've been in the entertainment industry for 8 years.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of friends in different places, and a few groups reached out to me. And right now we have an inquiry with the Innocence Project, so I'm hoping they actually push through.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still currently incarcerated. He actually got to watch the episode he does.
Oh, what a blessing.
So I don't know his thoughts yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's so proud to see his big sister on a TV. Oh, he probably telling all his little homies in jail. Look at my sis.
They
Look at
my
my sister out there killing
nothing. I ain't accepting.
Collect call. You gotta collect call for like, who is this? That's so touching though.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish him the best though. That's so unfortunate. I hate hearing stories about that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but we have so much to cover, you guys. Let's dive into these eliminations real quick before we can get into this Q&A with Crystal. Y'all, look, we down to 9 contestants already. I just feel like y'all are dropping like flies.
I know.
Like, I'm like, dang, how we start with 16 and we down to like 9?
We're eliminated without even actually
That's
being
true.
eliminated.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, okay, is that a thing now? Like, okay, so next week somebody else gonna have an issue and they're gonna get eliminated. Like, is that a thing? But no, eliminations tonight. I really was surprised. I was
surprised.
He was going to let him go.
They were surprised.
Yeah, they were.
Like,
yeah.
That was a mess. But yeah, let's get into it first. So the MVPs for both teams was Sierra for Team Grand and then Grace for Team Hustle. And then the least valuable players were Vanessa for Team Hustle and Javi for Team Grand. How do y'all feel about these? I'm like these MVP situations.
I'm just
MVP.
First of all, like, I'm not feeling the fact that people vote people as the MVP or the weakest link out of favoritism.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Javi was not the weakest link.
Yeah, definitely.
I honestly didn't see much of Jillian this season.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
This episode.
Really?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and for this,
She had a lot of input though.
But out of the weakest link, out of everybody though, she was the least.
I seen Sierra a lot. I seen everybody else more than her. Is what I'm saying. Not saying that she didn't contribute.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I guess I guess out of everybody,
yeah.
She did come up with the whole like the drawing.
Yeah, I was
board
about to
and
say she
everything.
kind of gave some good endpoints, but
I guess it's the editing too. I mean, out of everyone, I would have said her. Definitely not Javi. Like,
I kind of would have switched it. To be honest, mine would have been like, I love Sierra, girl, I love you, but but I wouldn't have gave her MVP though. Like my MVP would have been Javi, and then my least would have been George. Like I think I would have switched it.
But he's the captain. Well, he was
the point.
He was the captain, but still like.
You think he was the weakest?
I don't think he was the weakest. I don't think I'm still Jillian was the weakest.
I just feel like him and Jillian literally had like equal input.
Yeah.
They came up with the hashtag. That was it.
I feel like because George...
that was it.
I know. Because he had been switched to the other team, he kind of was like trying not to like start any confusion with the new team too.
Yeah.
So he kind of was being himself, but still kind of like sitting back as well. Mm-hmm. But I will say I don't like what he did when he was just like, make the executive decision. Right. It was like one of those things where it was like, okay, well, you do it type thing, like an attitude kind of.
Yeah.
But then when she went over to talk about it, then it was just like a genuine like, yeah, I told you to do it type thing.
Right.
And I'm like,
George, you out there acting fake and phony.
Like, what?
That was totally
like thrown off. Like,
himself.
Really?
Yeah. And then for Hustle, we had Vanessa and Grace.
I just want to know why Vanessa be acting so shocked when somebody says she the weakest link or call her out.
She stepped up this. I keep saying season. This episode, like she had I'm like, you seen how she looked at her when she was talking?
No,
she was like.
Did you see how she was looking at that phone, though? I think she was more into the phone than she was the actual task at hand. I was like, sis. And then it was like, even Crystal, it was like, I feel bad for her only because the way editing was set up. It was like they had a group image and then they had Vanessa all off to the side looking all awkward. I was like, dang,
but she was looking awkward. Because I think at one time, Crystal, you told her, like, you
gotta step
these
it up.
people over here. Like, you need to come over here and get these people together.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about her. I kind of want her to go.
I actually agree. I'm like, I agree she was the least valuable player, but I think my MVP, I would have gave it to you, Crystal. But it's like, I don't know. Is it like the lead or the points can't get MVP, or is it, how does that work?
I mean, you can, but I'm not that person. I'm not going to sit here and say, I felt like I did the best.
Yeah, like give me all the shine type of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not, I felt like my team, honestly, I was upset that I couldn't pick more than one.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately it's an edit and you guys don't get to see as much as they did, but Jonathan and Jonathan were going into barbershops. They were walking down the street. Like they were literally going up to cars and getting people to come out. Like everybody was going hard. So it kind of sucks that you have to pick one person. Tia's like, no, one person. I'm like,
yeah. I was thinking that too. I was like, it was either between you and Jonathan. I was like, I feel like y'all kind of stepped it up. Like really, it was like, yeah, we seen Jonathan kind of get in the like personal stories with people and stuff and interacting. But I was like, but yeah, as far as edits, we didn't really get to see his role like that. So yeah.
And then I want to ask you this, Crystal. I know that you and Jonathan are like BFFs on the show, but how would that be if you ever like had to say he was the weakest link or something? Like, let's be honest, how would that go?
Well, we saw last episode, right? And they were like, who do we? Honestly, the whole team, we felt George was the weakest link, and T.I. took that option away from us. So then it was like, well,
he threw you under the bus,
yeah. And I was just like, the way I was saying is that we felt the whole team did dope. So if I were pointing at that time and I felt my whole team did great and the person that was the weakest link got traded, then I would take responsibility for my team because everybody did great. If you guys, like I said, everything's edited. Ivan was there running around doing crazy. He separated Skittles for us. Did y'all hear about the Skittles?
No. What?
All right. So the artist had a writer. That's why people were getting wings and stuff. So the artists had their writers and the things they wanted in their rooms. So they said they want 4th of July Skittles. So we're running around trying to find a store with 4th of July Skittles, which we couldn't find, of course. So we bought different packs of Skittles that had red ones and that had blue. And then we separated them. Ivan was on the floor separating the packs of Skittles and putting red ones in one and blue in the other. So it sucks that a lot of the stuff that we did wasn't shown, but we did a lot. Those rooms were dirty. We had to clean and mop and Windex. Like, all that stuff wasn't shown. So that's why I felt at that point, if I was playing, I would have taken responsibility for my team because everybody was killing it except for George.
So that goes back to my question. If Jonathan was on the line, would you vote him off? That was my question.
It was between me and Jonathan,
This is a competition. Look, you gotta go.
Only asking because I get it. You can be best friends with someone, but at the end of the day, it's still a competition. Right. So did you guys know each other was going in together? Like, because it can be a favoritism type thing if it's a BFF type thing, you know. So
I mean, it surprised me that they kept us on the same team, knowing that we were friends.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person I am. Me and Jonathan's worked together prior to the show. We worked together after the show. I'm the type of person that, like, listen, if it comes down to competition, if you win, you win. If I win, I win. But I'm going to pull you up with me. So it doesn't matter. If I win, Jonathan still wins. You feel me?
Yeah. Right. That's amazing. Well, ultimately, no one was eliminated this episode, besides Chris by default.
I know.
I was so disappointed because I was so ready to see either Vanessa or George go home.
I just want to be completely honest. I kind of feel like Chris felt like he was going, and so he. I don't want to say he purposely had a panic attack, but I do feel like because he was about to get eliminated last week. Remember, like he was on the hot seat, and he even made a mention in the little like confessionals. He kind of I think said something about how like he almost got eliminated. And all of a sudden, you're in the closet. And I just
but I can't premeditate that in the morning, though, because I feel like that was, like, what, first thing wasn't that, like, when you guys woke up in the morning? Like, mid-morning? Yeah, like, so I'm like, yeah, because I don't think he must have been going through something. I don't know. Because before that, when they were trying to figure out the points and stuff or whatever, he was, like, real quiet. And everybody was asking him, like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, talking about previous night or whatever. And, like, you're, like, real quiet. And he's just like, whatever, you know, kind of brushing it off. And then it was, like, the next morning he got to get rushed to the hospital. I felt bad. I was like, oh, my gosh. But,
yeah.
Dang, T.I., I was really wanting Vanessa to go home.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, especially after, like, everybody, I was seeing more of her. I was like, okay, she's going home this episode.
Right. Like, and we get disappointed every episode.
It's funny because, honestly, George, I think we're still on edge and we're still waiting for you to go home. But it's all right. But T.I. actually gave us, you know, his good old phrases, y'all. He dropped one every episode. Yes. And he told George he was skating on thin ice with hot skates.
I like that.
Girl, say it one more time for the people in the back.
Good one.
You skating on thin ice with hot skates.
With hot skates. I mean, you know how quick you gonna go in? Like, you better
get yourself together.
You don't even have time to do that.
Sketch your way out the door. Okay?
That's a lot.
Yes. But all right, so let's wrap that up. Let's get into our T.I. trivia real fast.
Trivia.
I'm like, ooh, I forgot what my questions was. Yes, Crystal. We want you to play our T.I. trivia for our viewers watching us and listening to us. This is our T.I. trivia that we do every week. I'm going to give questions, basically all things T.I. And if you know the answer, go ahead and give us your answer in our live chat right now and participate with us. So I'm like, ooh, hold on. All right, let's get into it. So our first question is, what song includes the lyrics, "Don't wanna fight me, bro, I'm fast as lightning, bro"? Was it A, Get It, B, What You Know, C, About the Money, D, Whatever You Like?
B.
What's the lyric again?
Come on, sis.
This is every episode.
Okay. Can you repeat it? What song includes the lyrics, "Don't wanna fight me, bro, I'm fast as lightning, bro"? Was it A, Get It, B, What You Know, C, About the Money, D, Whatever You Like? Crystal, don't be Googling either.
Don't cheat.
Well, Crystal, what's your answer? I'll go last.
You guys gotta sing the lyric. You can't just.
That's gonna give it away. That's gonna give it away.
I've already said B. Come on.
Who said it's B? Who said it's B?
Petra.
I said B.
I'm gonna go with her answer because she's not confident. She done said B twice.
That is actually the correct answer.
B.
I'm trying to tell you.
Petra always gets her.
She does. I don't even know why I even tried.
These are gonna start getting a little trickier though. So number 2.
Here we go.
How many songs do T.I. and Jamie Foxx have together?
Okay.
Is it A, 3?
Girl.
Is it B, 0? Is it C, 2? Or is it D, 5?
A. 2. C.
A. 3.
Crystal, what you think?
I think it's 2. No. I think it's 2.
No, it's not.
Why she buzz you like that, like real fast, like wrong? Once again, Petra is right. It's
George
actually 3.
B.
Are you just guessing?
Yes, it is 3 songs.
I'm smart.
But sir, I'm not. Okay, that's shade on me.
It's actually 3 songs, you guys. T.I. has 2 songs featuring Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx has 1 song featuring T.I.
Can you name
I
the
knew
songs?
it was 2 or 3, but I just whatever.
You know the songs?
Mm-mm.
It's like fly like Fly Like Me or Like Me is the song of Jamie Foxx and T.I. And then I can't
Fly
get
Like Me.
It's something Fly is the song of T.I. featuring Jamie Foxx, like Heavens or Above. I
George
forgot.
said B, y'all, so.
George, you gonna say none? None? They ain't got no songs? All right, number 3. What is T.I.'s father's name?
Oh, I know this.
Is it A, Buddy? Is it B, James? Is it C, Clifford? Or is it D, Charles?
Oh, wait, I don't know.
Crystal?
Y'all came to me first.
Yeah.
We're going to you
I feel
first
like
this time.
So
I
it
feel like
should be.
Huh?
He said, I feel like it should be.
I feel like it should be Clifford, right?
Look, this could potentially be your boss, sis. You gotta
It's
get the
Clifford.
answers right.
That's your final answer, Crystal? Clifford?
Yeah.
P.
I say Charles.
Clifford.
He's not a junior though, right?
I don't know. It's competition.
I mean, it's too.
Go with your gut feeling, Shamarri.
I'm gonna say Clifford just because they say Clifford.
All right, you guys are finally all correct. T.I.'s dad's name is actually Clifford Sr., so he is a junior.
Juniors, I didn't know.
All right, this is a little tricky. Hopefully you guys can participate and get this one right. Shamarri and Crystal, you guys definitely need one on the board for this one. All right, so our bonus question, you guys. Who was the first person to have a beef with T.I.? Was it A, Young Thug? Was it B, Floyd Mayweather? Was it C, 50 Cent? Or was it D, Ludacris?
Ludacris.
Yeah, I think it's
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
Because I'm just thinking back in
other
the day.
people, yeah, you gotta think about time, and clearly Young Thug was not even.
All right, you guys are all correct. It was definitely Luda.
Here's the thing.
Battle of the
We need
Rappers
to
from the
just shut
ATL.
this down. I really need a gift. I say
Nah,
this
I'm about
every
to
week.
find something that's like, I'm about to trick you next week. We're going to have something because Petra is like killing it
Like,
every week.
what?
Has she even gotten any wrong at this point?
You know, yeah, she got a couple wrong. You know, Shells would be real mad if she was here.
I need a gift, y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so let's dive into our news and gossip with Shamarri. Yes, T-Report. News and gossip.
So I do have some interesting stuff. Okay, so basically, Tiny has been a little turned on by T.I. because T.I. actually ended up hiring a bodyguard to protect her from any other guys getting to Tiny because he's, I guess, getting like jealous.
Ooh.
And he doesn't want any males around her. She actually went to a club in Atlanta with Toya, and he hired a bodyguard, and Tiny was loving it. She was
Any
like,
males?
he didn't want no guys around her.
What
he
about her
hired the bodyguard.
DMs?
See, I don't know how. Hey, can't get a bodyguard.
How you
for
monitoring
DMs.
that?
But I guess he just said, I don't even want, physically, I don't want nobody to get to her and touch
To
her.
approach her, yeah.
So
Honestly,
he got the bodyguard.
I'm happy about that because they're just getting back right. So, I mean,
He's
I don't
trying to
want
just-
anything to mess it up. So.
I was gonna say
If
they
that's what you
married
gotta do.
anyway, like you know what I mean. But it's like you gotta take them precautions. But I want my husband, look, shoot,
And I
husband,
guess
send me
he
a
was
little
like texting
bodyguard.
the bodyguard and like trying to get updates. Like, okay, how's everything going? Everything smooth? It's like, so Tiny was loving it. She was loving that.
Yeah.
And then also, so T.I. had a restaurant. It was called 925. It was Scales 925. And it actually ended up closing, but he's actually being sued allegedly by his employees because they weren't paid their last paycheck.
Ooh, Now he
They
out
did
here
not receive
keeping
their overtime
coins.
paycheck,
No,
right? So they
T.I.
put out a lawsuit, and allegedly T.I. transferred $40K to himself and his business associates, and the employees are, upset because they didn't get the rest of their money. So how you gonna transfer money to you and pay your business associates, but we ain't get paid yet?
And we had a whole show about hustling
right, but of course,
That
we're
seems
not
real unethical.
Something's going on. I don't
Definitely
think he'll.
we got-
I don't
yeah.
think he'll do something like
Ooh,
that.
that seems real
definitely.
unethical. I'd
Yeah.
be like, you out here stealing coins?
And then also too, a review was done on the restaurant before it was closed, and the review got 0 stars.
Ooh.
And the lady who did the review said that the
zero.
food was pretty terrible.
Ooh.
That was her review.
Why is that
I've
some
never
classy
heard of-
shade though? Why she say pretty terrible?
Pretty
like
terrible.
just say it was terrible.
I never knew
Right.
he had a restaurant.
I didn't know
didn't
either.
either.
I don't think it was open that long. To be honest, I don't think it was around.
This
too
was in
long. It was
Atlanta
back in
too?
2015. Yeah.
I thought
He was
I thought
open
you
in
James was the
Atlanta.
only one who had a
no,
restaurant.
Candy.
Candy has hers.
Oh.
Eva K. Michelle has a restaurant.
What?
Pink Blossoms, I think it's called something like that.
Who in there?
It's all pink. It's a really small little place.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. You heard about it? Crystal, you know about her little, is it Pink Blossom? Is that what it's called?
It's like P-Tink Cup or something like that.
Which I found
It's
really
like
ironic because she's a Delta and she got pink. You know,
Ew.
so I
Yeah.
was like, what you doing with that?
Okay, come through, Greek.
I'm an AKA, so, you know, I was just like, okay.
That's funny. Is that all?
You're an AKA?
I am an AKA.
Crystal, you're an AKA.
Okay, hey, sir. Okay. Yes, okay.
I'm so mad I didn't go to a
settle
college that had
down,
good
settle down.
sororities. I'm so
About this kind of
mad.
stuff. And I knew I felt it. I'm like, she's an AKA, but I don't want to say it because, you know, I don't want it not be right. But yes, I felt it. It was the inner
She
telepathy
felt
thing.
it.
I'm so mad. Look, I hate when people be bonding over like sorors and sororities. I'll be like, I'm so mad, but it's all right. I got my education though.
That's all that matters.
And my
That's all
degree.
that matters. And your degree. That's all that matters.
No comment.
Yeah, so that's all for my news and gossip.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Shamarri.
You're welcome.
Well, let's dive real quick into our fashion segment with Petra, this hot or not.
Oh my goodness, I forgot all about it.
How you forget? Our hot or not segment, you guys, we dive into all of the fashion that was previewed in this episode. So Petra's gonna start with our first image here. We got T.I. in his dapper
we
suit.
have T.I. first. Okay, first of all, I'm loving it. This is not the best picture of the outfit or his suit, but I'm really loving this, so I'm gonna give him a hot.
Hot.
I'm
All
giving
right.
him a hot.
I love it. I love him in a
sometimes-
suit.
Does he dress himself or does he have a stylist?
I don't know. He probably has a stylist because he's like he be
'Cause
having
he's
all the
always on
knickknacks, paddywhacks, the gadgets, the aprons, the napkins, like whatever. Like he be having all of that. So I feel like no, he actually.
I'm really liking the
accessorizes
glasses.
it.
I like how he adds his little glasses onto his little outfits. It just makes it look
Not
so
Lil.
much.
real studious.
Yes, Lil.
Our next picture. What was this on?
I just felt like I wanted to just get a good one of
everybody.
Jillian.
Oh, okay, of Jill.
I mean everybody, but I mean,
That's not elimination outfit.
exactly.
I
So
feel like that's Sunday brunch.
But I mean,
Sunday
really,
event,
what
daytime
exactly
event.
is even the vibe for elimination? Because nobody, to me, is dressed on the same page. They're
you're
all on
a
different
show
levels.
about entrepreneurship and hustling. Why would you show up in a jumper?
I'm not
No
gonna
shade.
have
I'm
my
just saying.
boss looking classier than I look. You know what I mean? At least we gotta be on the same level. If my boss is coming out with a suit, I gotta have a little suit on, a little dress or something, little heels or whatever. But no, oh my God, why y'all
did
do
you
Vanessa
even-
like this?
Why you got Vanessa like
Why
that?
you get that picture of her
we
like
have
that?
Crystal
Vanessa.
here, and I kind of figured out that okay, they had a dress code because it looks like everybody had the same shirt, but at
Yep.
least like Crystal tried to like spice hers up a little
She
bit.
did.
Vanessa just put on a shirt and went out the house.
She got a little V-neck cut. I think she cut the top
Girl,
to make a V-cut.
we could have did a little more than that.
Maybe they didn't have time.
I'm gonna do a knot. I'm saying not for her.
I'm definitely giving this a nod. Sorry.
It's a
Sorry,
nod.
Vanessa.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, Crystal, come
yes.
with the creativity.
That's a nice picture.
See what I'm saying? She cut her. She put a little knot in it. Had a little high waist.
waist
She even had
shorts.
something around her legs.
Come through, peekaboo shoulder.
I'm gonna give that a hot.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Not
hot.
just because you're
Yeah.
on the phone, but because, but because I really think it was creative, and I really think you utilized, the time wisely to look like you cared.
By
Yeah.
the way, was that your idea to make those shirts, or like how did you guys decide to get that design and everything?
Yes, well, if you guys haven't noticed, we kind of color coordinate as a
Every
team.
time,
Yeah.
But with these shirts, I had Gracie and Vanessa run and get black T-shirts, and they brought them, and I spray painted on them.
Oh,
So
okay.
everybody can have fun.
Super
Look at
creative.
that.
That's
They
funny
even
because
get
Sierra
that.
told us that last week that your team was actually like real creative and you guys like have a color of the day type of thing, like a whole
Yeah.
little system going on. That's cute.
It is cute.
It is, yeah.
Let's dive into this next picture really quick. This was George. George comes through with your
got the
professor suit on.
Right.
George got the glasses,
kinda-
the line.
I'm gonna give him a hot only
No,
because
it's
I'm
not.
loving the professionalism. Like
No.
I
Yeah.
love a whole suit,
Yeah.
business outfit, whatever, looking professional. I'm here
And
for
I'm
it.
not gonna
Yep.
lie, I love a man in a suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and next one. Whose grandma
Why
was this?
you got?
I had to get her, y'all. She was cute.
Her outfit is cute though. She got
She
a little
is
style
cute.
going on.
I'm like,
She
it's
got
a
the
glare. I
glasses.
can barely see, but I'm like, okay,
saying,
Granny.
when you get that age, if you can still rock your outfits like that, it's a hot.
Girl, she got on a basic t-shirt and sweater from
That is
Kohl's.
not-
But for
no
her, at
basic
her
for-
age, though, I think that she is being
She's
very
like
stylish.
80-something.
However, I think it was
You
like
can
what,
get that at
95
Kohl's and
degrees
still look
outside.
cute.
I mean, I'm sweating.
She
for it
has
at this
on
point.
red shades. Obviously, she like
She's somebody's
put
stylish
herself
granny.
together. Like,
Any more?
Was that it for our
Last
hot
one?
or not segment?
I think that was it.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Petra. All right, so before we wrap, let's dive into a quick little Q&A while we still have Crystal here. So Crystal, wait. So I want to highlight this whole point because I still see
Here
it.
we go.
So it was first in the confessional, then in the eliminations, and now I see this paperclip on your shirt. Can you tell us what this means? Look, I'm like, I thought he was holding your strap together. Or what is that called? Like a paper holder.
Do you have on the same shirt?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
She was representing. Okay, I can dig it.
But I've seen it like 3 other times on different shirts. So I'm like, I wonder if this is like symbolism for something. So tell us about this clip.
Yeah, basically, honestly, I could be a little crazy. Like, I could become a very strict person. So to remind myself to keep it together, I like kept wearing this, and I would like use it as like my little thing. Plus, I also use it in the challenges. I use it to clip together papers. One time, can't talk about that. But, you know, one time I used it to fix somebody's outfit. I was going to say whose outfit, but people like, how? And you're like, oh, God, I'm so
Yeah.
But I fixed somebody's outfit with it. So it's just like I use it as a tool, but it also reminds me like, yo, you're here for a reason. You're about your business. It's a paperclip. So it just reminds me, you know.
I love that, girl. Keeping things together. Yes.
Together.
Okay, because we definitely be holding in papers together. Look. Yes.
That's a good one.
No, that is.
So I do want to ask you, so I know you had a brief moment where you were calling out your old job at the radio station. So what made you decide to leave like your radio station job to pursue this opportunity?
It's for T.I. Hello.
But it's like if you don't win, then it's like you lose, and it's like, oh, dang, I left my job, you know?
No. Well, I still was on, when I came back from the show, I was still on the radio for a little bit. Prior to that, I actually did quit my job to do the show. I was working for Diageo as a marketing specialist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did quit my 9-to-5 salary business, Uber budget, free liquor, yeah. But, I mean, I promised God that if I were to take a 9-to-5 again while I'm pursuing my dreams, that if the opportunity of a lifetime would come across my desk, that I would take it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Opportunity came. I talked to my boss. I said, listen, I know I'm #1 in New York, top 10 in the country, but I need to leave an absence. And they was like, no. And then I was like, I quit. And they didn't expect that. So, yeah.
Wow. That's very inspirational.
Do you guys have like one more question before we get out of here?
No, I think that's all for me.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered everything. I would ask you, Crystal, what would you say was the most challenging part about this whole experience?
The challenging part about this whole experience? The most challenging. Dang, you know, I wish they edit some stuff out. There's some stuff that went down that was edited out already. But I would say the most challenging part is just not defeating myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not allowing myself to get in my own head, because you guys, like I said, don't see a lot. It's a lot of rules, a lot of things we got to do, a lot of stress. And if you get in your own head, you're going to defeat yourself. So that was challenging. I had to stay positive. I used to read my books, meditate, pray, whatever I can. I was taking baths with candles, okay?
Okay, get it, girl. Whatever it takes. Yeah, so before we get out of here, guys, what do you guys predict for next week? Our predictions.
I predict that Vanessa Argillian is going to go home.
And now,
What I was going to say. Definitely Vanessa. She needs to go. For sure. That was my prediction.
I'm trying to see the house versus George. I feel like everybody in the house got a vendetta against George at this point.
I feel like without George, even though he gets on my nerves, it's like it would be no show.
It would be Jonathan. I mean, I think everybody would be at Jonathan.
But that's it.
I'm excited to see how this custom shoe challenge is going to go, though.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see that.
I wish I was in on that.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
But see, that can be picky because even with it being custom, you can like do too much trying to be creative. So you could like overdo it.
Yeah.
And then you can not do enough.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the other team is going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to it
Crystal,
too.
before we let you go, what is one thing you can expect us to see like next episode? For episode 5. If you remember, for episode 5. I know, not to spoil it, just real quick, just a little teaser.
We were very creative.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, look. We're going to keep that there. We're going to put a pin in it.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for viewing us and watching us for another episode of Grand Hustle After Show. I'm your host, Kayla Rene'e. You can find me on Instagram at @the_Kayla Rene'e.
And I am Petra Elise. Y'all can find me on all social media platforms and YouTube at Petra Elise TV.
And lastly, guys, I am Shamarri. You can find me at Instagram at Shamarri Heartsock.
Yes, and I want to thank our contestant Crystal for coming on the show and being with us tonight. We definitely appreciate it and wish you much success, sis. All right, bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.